Yo, what's up guys, how's everyone doing? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. I just got done with a VIP stream tackling some issues, and I want to get straight into this analysis now. I am fired up from that stream, and of course, something is up right now. Okay, I think we're good. Are we good? Yes, we are. Very good. Guys, audio and everything, let me know. Well, hello again. Yeah, so, okay, well, first thing I want to start off with is acknowledging the trend that we were already in. We've been in a sideways channel, which is a bullish continuation pattern. I've obviously got this rectangle for the previous trend we'd been in, and this was a 5-day consolidation period, which was extremely confusing and not so pleasant to be in. Our trading range was roughly from where the candles closed, 3.2%, a little bit lower than that as well in some cases, so it wasn't a huge trading zone, guys, today for the majority of our candles, or rather not today, but for this week or whatever of trading. It has been even lower than that in terms of volatility, so we are looking at 2.3%, and for the majority of the trading, it has only been 2% or less in terms of trading. So for going on 6 days and 12 hours, we're now going to close the 7th day probably very soon, still going sideways. This is a very awkward trend for Bitcoin to be following, and because of that, it is not easy to make trades. We haven't had any sustained moves either going up or down, but we have had some extreme volatility going up and down in 2-3 scenarios where we did bought down and then bought back up. This was a very strange sort of formation here, fueled a little bit by fun, and of course, guys, like I posted in VIP and Gold today, really, remember this emotional rubber banding thing. Traders in this space are scarred right now, very upset with the market, and mindsets. Your stance leaning bullish or bearish changes very quickly in the market right now. How are the clouds? I will get to that in a second. And so, dipping, from 8,300 down to 78, when we bear in mind, first of all, that is a very strong support area. Before it was resistance, as you can see, we did battle this yellow line, but it has become support. There is no reason really to be, I don't know why this line is here, but there is no reason to be panicking if we drop down to this level. And of course, when we did today, there was a lot of panic in the whole crypto space. Like I said, everyone really scarred and upset with the market right now, guys. If we can smash those likes up, that would be pretty cool real quick. But like I said, that is going to be down to the emotional rubber banding, the people who very quickly change their stance over very small price movements. But again, we have to zoom out and look at this objectively. All we did a couple days ago and all we did today was test crucial support levels and very simply just confirm that we're still bullish. This is an extremely positive thing going on in the market right now. The scammer hidden divergence, of course, we do have that. We have been setting higher lows, and our RSI has been decreasing, so this gives us a lot of room to go up. Like I say, RSI is not a reliable indicator, but it is becoming more reliable as we climb higher. And as you can see, the trend in the RSI is down, the trend in the price is up, and so this is a very positive sign right now. This is exactly what we want to see in a period of stability like this. Like I said, testing these lows, while it may have been traumatizing for a lot of people, it did result in a lot of liquidations today. If we do look at BitMEX Rect, which I think would be a pretty fun thing to look at, just go over to Twitter here and BitMEX Rect. That is very awkward. What have I done? Go back. Is this gonna work? Yeah, so we go over to this Twitter page, guys. For those of you who don't know, this is a page that posts all of the liquidations on BitMEX, and of course, if I were to scroll down a little bit, you will see very big, $1.8 million contract being liquidated on Bitcoin, and of course, before that, a lot more as well, 2.2 million. Now, guys, bear in mind this is happening on leverage, so the chances are someone only put in 220,000 dollars. I say only like it's a small amount, but put in $220,000 into this trade, multiplied it by 10x, and that's how it became 2.2 million. Of course, there's also the chance that somebody used 25x, and so they used 25 times less than 2.2 million. But either way, this is a very heavy liquidation, and there is a lot of it. So, we've got another one, 1.6 million, all of this happening on Bitcoin USD. A lot of, this was exclusively bot action right now that did take us down. It wasn't really, if we look at the volume on the 5-minute chart, it was completely dead. I mean, of course, the movements were organic this time, and they are organic this time, but the volume only came in with these sudden dumps, and of course, this is indicative of bot action. I think the recovery here, we had a nice V-shaped correction, pretty much mirroring our way down, was a good sign. It would have been nice to see more volume here, but nonetheless, there isn't too much to extrapolate from these 5-minute charts, but it is important to note that if you were sitting in front of the screen at this time, you would have watched it go down from, where did this candle open? 8,131 roughly. You'd have watched it go down to 7,850, and a lot of people did unfortunately panic sell because of that, just because they were there at the wrong time, and they watched it go down live, and they got wrecked, plain and simple. And so this is, a classic case of over trading. When we're going sideways like this, traders will become very sensitive, and what you will see is, like I said, when we get small movements like this, suddenly it's the end of the world. But you think back to even just 1 week ago, we were still, literally 1 week ago, we were still battling this resistance line. So to see that we've bounced off it once and twice, our old resistance turning support, this is the most bullish indicator that we have within our past 7-day trend. So I really do like this, guys. And of course, there are a couple possibilities now. Getting into the real TA, we have, okay, so we're in a our trend is up. We already know this. I've gone over this many times when I signaled the triple bottom, the futures reversal, all that good stuff. We formed our triple bottom over here. We've been setting higher lows every time, so a low over here, higher low, and you guys get the picture. So we're still forming higher lows. We are still in an uptrend. Our $7,800 support has held. And so what this really is, plain and simple, is a continuation pattern within our trend. And of course, like I mentioned in gold and VIP, what I think we are looking forward to, or what we're eyeing, I guess is a better way to say it, is the monthly candle close. We do know that manipulators do run this space right now quite a lot, a little bit less so perhaps now that we're getting more real trading action. If we look at the volume, we're up to $17.6 billion, and that was up from $14 billion just earlier today even. So we have seen a lot of organic volume come in, especially sustained volume, while we've been climbing back up and making this recovery on our 4-hour candles. So definitely a very good sign for the short term. But I do, I wouldn't be surprised if this carries on until tomorrow, or at the very latest the day after tomorrow, which would be the 1st of August, just because we're going to get this monthly close, and then we could make our way a little bit higher. Bulls fuck hard the Bears. That's funny. So yeah, very clear continuation pattern in the making here. There is one thing to take note of though, and it is not something I am ruling out. And actually what that is the possibility that we're going to form a double top at 8,500, which is where we previously topped out, and then continue our way lower. And guys, if that does happen, I don't know, for those of you who watched, the background noise is my fan. For those of you who watched Alessia Rastani's video today on Bitcoin's final chance, what he did mention is that we have had let me go back and to this daily chart, switch off these lines. We've had one rally to break up since our brutal drop down from 20,000 to 6,000. We've had one rally up which failed, a second rally up which failed. We're now on our third rally, and if this does fail, really the chances are it's gonna really just break through all of those support lines that we've had, and we will go into a very long-term sustained downtrend, which is okay. Like I say, you do typically make more money in bear markets just because you can short the market, and of course it goes down very predictably and quickly. One of the key things about bear markets is when we're going down in price, we're never encountering a level which we haven't seen before. When we're setting all-time highs, it's all uncharted waters. It's not easy to predict 20,000 as the top. The only thing you had going for you was that it's a multiple of 10,000, multiple of 5,000, but apart from that, it could have very easily been 25,000, 30, 50, whatever. It's not easy once we're reaching all-time highs, but when we are in bear markets, we are only seeing levels that we've previously been at, and so support levels and all that kind of thing are very easily predictable, and so that's how you make money very quickly. The reason I'm saying this is if we do end up getting rejected, that doesn't mean we're going to stop making money. In fact, what that could very easily mean is we're going to make a lot more money, especially those in my VIP do get all of my trades that I go into, and that does include the shorts that I enter when the time is right. So yes, the possibility that we set another lower high, we double top again, so our downtrend has been characterized by rallies that go up. They have taken more time each time, so we've had a very quick rally up. This was a V-shaped correction, very quick rally up, formed a double top and then went down. We had a slightly slower rally this time, or last time rather. We did form yet another double top and then we went down. Of course, this time it looks about the same, if not even slower, and we could perhaps form a double top here and then go down again. And of course, this is, like I said, a likelihood that I am not ruling out. Alessio doesn't think this will happen. Matt, you are completely correct. I am not as bullish as Alessio. Alessio does a lot more long-term analysis than I do, and like I said, what I focus on is trading these 1, 2, 3 day max sort of patterns and trading them on leverage to hit 2-3 times gains every time. And so I am looking to see, will we get a reversal here, for example? Will we permeate through this resistance? Either way, it doesn't really matter. We are still going to make those huge gains, and so that is my trading style. It is what has worked for me. And so, really, those are the two possibilities we are looking at. I want to go over to our Ichimoku cloud now, and, like I said, I was feeling a lot more confident with this before, but just considering we're following basically the same pattern we did last time. If we look at this Ichimoku cloud, we did go fairly high, and then it was followed by periods of sort of sideways movement where all of our candles happened within our first candle going up. There is a specific word for this which escapes me right now, but we did form a high, and then following that we did trade completely sideways within that candle, and of course it did result in our rejection. Now I mean, this is not going to be, we've only got 1 day left until this monthly candle closes, and then we'll be out of this Ichi cloud. Assuming we go completely sideways, we'll be out of this in 4 days. And so it does look like, for the most part, we have cleared this resistance. I mean, bear in mind, last time the resistance was huge. It was a very thick, heavy resistance. But at the moment, we are done with the bulk of it. And the good news here is, if we go over to the 4-hour chart, we now have some very important support at this level now. It previously was not an important indicator just because of how far away it was, but now we are extremely close to it, and if we do drop into these levels, it is not doomsday. It is not something, again, that I would be concerned about. We have a very good support area here, and of course, as resistance, the Ichimoku cloud has been very reliable, and as support, it has resulted in our sort of launch pad up, which I did mention it could be. So it does look very good that we have this very large area now of support, going from 72 up to $8,000 pretty much. This is a very good area to have our 4-hour Ichimoku cloud support in, and because of that, I am still leaning bullish. On the whole, if you had to ask me, I am still 60-70% bullish and only 30-40% bearish. Go over to the EMA ribbon, and we are looking at even more support. We still haven't failed this ribbon. We wicked down below it briefly earlier today, but this would have only affected you if you had very high leverage positions, which I did advise against. Well, of course not advise, but say I wouldn't, or rather that others shouldn't. And of course, we have now closed above that, and so this wick can be disregarded to an extent. We do have very good support in this area, and you just consider how this EMA ribbon is now tightening. I do think we are going to be ready. I mean, we just consider, like I said, again, now this is going to be 6 hours and 12 days, 2.3% movement for most of these candles where they open and close. This is a very tight trading range for a very long time. I do expect us to break out fairly violently very soon. Like I said, the monthly close is what we're going to be keeping our eyes on now, just considering the manipulators in this space most likely wanting something to happen either right before or right after that monthly close. The weekly close did not play into much importance. If we do look at that at the moment, I mean, this is, to me, we switch on the log chart, and it does look pretty bullish to me. I mean, you know, you guys already know my thoughts on this. I've gone over it at length, but I think it is a good idea to recap now. Of course, guys, all of these blue lines indicating when futures have had significant dates. I think it is time to take these off now, though, because there are a lot of blue lines, maybe 2 or 3 that I haven't filled in yet. I think I'll just leave that one line here, which is indicative of when our whole bear market started. But, you know, if we do look at this yellow line, probably switch to the daily. What am I doing now? That's annoying. That's really annoying. Okay. Probably refresh this page. Okay, I'm on Daniel Wellington now. What have I done? One of my favorite watch brands. How long does one typically keep a margin trade open? DH, I've been completely wrecked with fees on BitMEX. And I don't really want to use it anymore because of that. I mean, I feel traumatized. I had huge gains from a VIP signal that I put out. I did obviously give those signals to take profit as well, and I had huge gains as a result, but I forgot about the fees that you have on BitMEX, and I lost most of it overnight by keeping that trade open. So really, you want to make sure that BitMEX trades are not kept open for a very long time. This has been our trading style, but of course, what was this? I believe yesterday it just didn't work in our favor. I did still walk away with nice profits, but I would have had a lot more had I closed earlier. Daniel Wellington, I know him. So yeah, okay, well, these lines haven't been taken off, but you know, you guys do get the general idea here, and it is that we are in a very long-term uptrend, and we have broken out of our long-term falling wedge resistance line, and we are above that now. We have broken out with volume. Guys, to me, this does feel a lot like disbelief at the moment. In this space, if we look at how every time we drop by $100 to $300, suddenly our targets are $3,000 again. To me, this is very indicative of a disbelief rally. But of course, like I said, I cannot, you know, this is the only long-term analysis I do, and just because, and the reason I do it is because it covers only the most basic of charting concepts, and that is distinct trends and continuation patterns within those trends. And a falling wedge, as you guys will know, is the most common continuation pattern, probably in crypto especially. And so to see that we have broken out with volume, to me, that is all the confirmation I need to know that we are in safe waters on the whole. No audio? No, there is audio, my friend. I don't, I think, well, you can't even hear me, so I guess that... What's up, Four Flies? Great to see you, Ryan. So yeah, you know, this falling wedge resistance being broken out, very, very good sign for the long-term trend, and that is why I'm still staying bullish for this 4-hour sort of trend right now. I mean, like I said, this is a very clear continuation pattern. We have now tested a support area once more. Audio is fine, perfect. We have now tested this support area once more, and it has held, so this shows a lot of strength from where I'm seeing things at the moment. Guys, I have gone through all of my analysis for this stream, so I do want to start taking your questions. Of course, if you are interested in VIP, do hit me up. You get all of my signals, my entries, my exits, leverage, and all of that stuff. Entries I have been a little bit less generous on, shall I say. I have been withholding some of that information just to make sure there's no FOMO action in the group. Turn on your speakers. Just to make sure there's no FOMO action in the group. What I have seen now is because the success rate is so good with VIP, people want to go all in with every signal I give, and that is a very big problem. So I have addressed that today. If you practice good risk management, that won't be a problem for you, but you know, when you're working with smaller balances, I do appreciate that you want to get those 10, 20x gains very quickly, and it is possible, but the way you do that is by compounding profits, not by going all in and trying to hit a home run. That's not what I mean. A home run to me is 1 or 2x, but people obviously want more. So I wanted to go over this a question somebody asked in VIP. He did join, I don't know, like yesterday or something. Hi guys, new to the group, just curious to know how long you guys have been members and how your experience has been. And one of the replies, couple days, exactly as I hoped. It would be a perfect group to generate a foundational understanding of how to correctly, that is a lot of words, I didn't realize, of how to correctly manage risk and reward with regards to margin trading. That is very wordy, whoever wrote that. I do know, but of course I don't want to expose him. Very good English there. Nice one. Yeah, no, I mean, VIP is all about kicking out those bad habits and replacing them with very good ones in terms of risk management. It is very strict, well, I mean, my trades are very strict in that sense. Someone talking about Bitcoin pumping, we've only went up by like $80, but yeah, it is going up fairly quickly right now. Yeah, really rising quite quick, so this is nice to see. But of course, we are all about practicing that risk management, making low risk plays, and when we do make those plays, profiting very hugely from them. So of course, if you are interested, go ahead and click the link in the description down below, and just below that link you will find instructions on how to join VIP. Just hit me up with a message and say, how do I join? So want to look at this 1 minute chart right now. So we do have some volume on this pump right now, so this is nice. The volume is not as high as our dump, so not ideal. It's not even as high as our previous pumps, but we will see how this continues to play out. Of course, the 1 minute chart not being a reliable indicator of anything, and the same going for the 5 minute chart as well. So I think what would be a lot more sensible would be to wait for this 1 hour close at the very least, and of course the 4 hour close, which will happen in an hour and a half. Stratos just joined VIP. Absolutely amazing. Great to have you, friend. Always a pump when he streams Four Flies the Whale. Dom, man, I mean, Bogdanov watches these streams, and he knows what's up. So, he knows the TA I put out is solid, and so he knows when to pump. Yusuf Ali, do you think the rally for 9.2K will start soon? I think, like I said, this monthly close, either just before or after this, is when it will set up. And if we look at our general trend, we are bullish, in my opinion. So yes, Yusuf, I do think we are going to start seeing levels like high 8,000s, low 9,000. I think we are going to see them very quickly. And of course, like I went over at length before, there is no clear resistance right now until we see levels like 9,200 again. So it's going to be a very nice, easy, fun rally up. And I'm feeling pretty good about that on the whole. So do I think it's going to start soon? Yes, I do. Much talk about a daily bull flag happening. Is that something in play, or do you think we may be in a pattern where we are range trading? Ryan, yeah, we are in a 1 day bull flag, definitely. This is very indicative of it. Well, not even indicative. It is a bull flag on the 1 day. It's just slightly awkward considering how we've been completely sideways for so long. But I think this is a very good sign. Last time our consolidation went on for 5 days. This time it's probably going to be 7 or 8 days, and so I really do like how we are setting these trends now, making a slow and controlled recovery upwards. This is exactly what we need and want to see. So I'm really liking this trend at the moment. Yeah. Well, I'm bullish like you and learnt a lot from you, so I'm thankful for that. Yusuf, I mean, that's great. You've just made my day pretty much. I'm very happy that you've learned some good stuff from that. Is that tea you're having? Tea in crypto? Good. I don't drink tea, being British and from West Asia. That is a little bit surprising to a few people, but I don't like tea. I just drink water, keeping it very simple. I'm driving now, but will join VIP when I get home. Awesome, DH. I will look forward to your message. I saw another question I wanted to answer. Forgot where that is now. 40k end of year. I don't think we're... I mean, I'm not even placing bets for all-time high this year. Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of people are even calling levels like 50,000 by even Q1 of 2019. So definitely possible. I want to take a look at the alt market today. Probably refresh the page because this information will be outdated now. We are seeing volume continue to rise with the market cap a little bit. Bitcoin dominance continuing to rise as well. What we are seeing is alts continue to get liquidated into Bitcoin. If we look at the Bitcoin price of alts, first of all, we do have to consider, well, now Bitcoin is down only 0.37%. But if you were to look at this even just 1-2 hours ago, you would have seen Bitcoin down about, I don't know, 3%. And on top of that, you do have to bear in mind Bitcoin had a loss against the dollar, and all of these coins are having a loss against, Tron down 8%. All of these coins losing against Bitcoin, while Bitcoin losing against the dollars. So we are seeing Bitcoin dominance continue to rise, and as you guys know, I am not even touching alts at the moment. I have not been for a very long time, and of course because of that, I literally have not had a loss at all since like May or something like that. I was telling the VIP members I only lost about $50 since then, since May. Obviously with the exception of Bitcoin swings going up and down in small amounts. The big trades, the big swings we do trade and so make profit off them. But I'm not about that lost life with these alts, guys. I mean, I've been talking about it in literally every stream. There's just so much of it. I mean, these alts are really hurting right now, and it's not going to change until Bitcoin really does show some real signs of strength and stability. And while we do have some nice things going on at the moment, it is not good enough. Is there audio? Just got here. Well, I mean, you won't be able to hear this, so no point answering that. But yeah, no, alts are not it right now. Tony, can't PM you on Telegram? If you can't PM me on Telegram, go ahead and hit up my Twitter. Guys, if you are interested in following me there, go ahead and my Twitter is obviously in the description. You can DM me on Twitter and just in caps write, I can't message you on Telegram, and I will get back to you. I'm not very good at replying to Twitter DMs, but if you do tell me you can't message me on Telegram, I will get back to you. This is my Twitter page, so you can get all my shit posts there. I only own Bitcoin, Steven. For me, it's only Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, yeah, I'm not into alts at all at the moment. Which contract on Bitcoin, on BitMEX do you guys trade? I think a lot of people do Bitcoin USD, and that's it. Getting wrecked off ICX. Yeah, the new era. I want to check out where ICX is today. It has been a long time since I've even looked at alts. Yeah, I mean, guys, I called it way back here when we did break this final. It's not even a support line, but when we did break these levels, I did call ICX is going to hit freefall now. I mean, there is literally no bottom for ICX right now, and it's a fundamentally sound coin. It's a very good one. You know, if I only had the choice to pick one or two, ICX would be one of the ones I would shortlist to choose. But technicals are technicals at the end of the day, and you can't say something like TA doesn't work in crypto because, like I said, I did call it when we were around about here, and even up at levels like this, we have breached our final support levels, and the bottom is going to be zero. I mean, there is no bottom right now. I mean, it all depends on when the markets decide to flip. This is something I sold way back up here. I saw this happening, you just can't stick to alts in times of uncertainty, so I did sell way back up here, even though it did look like a bull flag to me, or rather a falling wedge. That's just not a pattern to hold, in my opinion. So, like I said, I mean, this is one of my favorite coins, but technicals are technicals at the end of the day, and there is no support. There is no psychological support. There is no technical support for ICX at the moment. Really, I mean, it could go all the way down much lower. How much lower can it go? Yeah, the new era, I don't know, my friend. We are talking some fairly low levels. Accumulate and hold alts at these giveaway prices. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin Buskery, this is one thing you can do. If you do believe in these alts for the long term, you can accumulate and hold them. I am far more pessimistic in this case, in that I don't see why these alts would rise. They do have utility behind them. ICX obviously pretty good in the things that it does, but there are a lot of good companies with good value, good utility behind them that have ended up failing, and I'm very pessimistic in this sense for alts. But even for the wider crypto space, for Bitcoin, and dare I say it, even for blockchain, guys, I love this space, but I'm staying realistic, and I doubted it when we were at all-time high. I just didn't say it because I didn't want people to shit on me. It's a lot easier to say it now when everyone wants to hate on this whole space. There are some big barriers in this blockchain space. I do recognize its potential, but like I say, for me, what this is about is analyzing these, short mid-term swings and making profit off them. And of course, while I am skeptical of the long-term viability of this space, I personally do feel that Bitcoin is going to rise a lot more than where it is right now. That's just my own opinion, which I keep to myself and only seldomly say on streams and things like that. I do believe Bitcoin is going to go quite high, and so my goal is to accumulate Bitcoin and then watch it rise against USD. And that's a two-strike deal. First I accumulate Bitcoin, I gain more, which means more USD, and then when Bitcoin rises in USD, I also, of course, gain more USD. So it's a very nice plan in that sense. Can you not short alts, Paul? You can short some alts, but not very many, ICX being among them, which is one of the few alts I do want to start trading, but at the moment, all of the eyes are on Bitcoin. But yes, you can short and long some alts, yeah. ETH has to rally for alts to rally. Some, that is... it's a very funny name. That is exactly it. I don't think alts are going to rally until Ethereum shows some signs of life, and I don't think that's going to be too far away. But, Ethereum is what a lot of this does go through. What else have we got? Yeah, a lot of talk about ICX, aka South Korea's Ethereum. Think it's one to keep an eye on for sure. Yeah, Cryptonaut. I mean, ICX is huge in Asia and Korea. So and Korea, like I say, Asia on the whole, Korea being a big part of that, makes up for a lot of the volume in the crypto space, most of the volume in the crypto space. So the things that are big in Korea are not to be ignored by us in the West. Not at all. One of my favorite coins from 2017 was Oh My's Go, and that is based in Thailand. So I had literally no connections to it in terms of sentimental value, I guess, being close to home, but I recognized it in an emerging market, a market which is much more open to the crypto space than the West is. And so Korean coins are, not even just Asian coins in general, are a lot more healthy in my opinion than coins like Dragon Chain. Those of you who were in the alt game back then, VeChain has a lot going on. Exactly, yeah. I think Encash probably... I don't want to go into alts today, guys. As you know, I'm not into them. I just want to call out real quick people talking about the huge pump, or making it out that it is a huge pump. Of course, we did pump to 8,220, but we are back down $50 down now, and so losing your mind over a little pump like that is not the right mentality. You should not be watching these charts as closely as you may have done so to draw those conclusions that it is pumping in capital letters and all that. Guys, I have gone through everything I wanted to. I have gone through your questions. I am going to try to keep these streams a little bit shorter now, get to the point quicker, be more concise, and of course still cover the same things. Guys, as usual, it has been an absolute pleasure. If you are interested in VIP, do hit me up. Like I said, the link to the gold channel is in the description, and of course at the bottom of those gold posts you can find my name at 4flies. Click on that and message me, say how do I join VIP, and I will get in touch. This screenshot again, someone who joined the group recently rather, asking how it's been, the experience, and one of the replies, perfect group to generate foundational understanding of how to manage risk and reward for margin trading. We are predominantly focused on margin trading at the moment. So yeah, that is where we shine, and we do it fairly well. So guys, with that, of course, if you have enjoyed this, please make sure to smash up those likes once more, subscribe, tick the bell, and of course, if you aren't already in the Telegram group, do join that. Gold is completely free, and a lot of people make a lot of big numbers from that as well, guys. Like I said, it has been a pleasure, and I'm going to be signing off. I'm out. Peace.